day 38. Ooh, man, it was not necessarily a rough night, but it would have been if I was out there. It sounded, they say that tornadoes sound like freight trains coming toward you. Man, it was like somebody had a Gatling gun over there shooting freight trains. I could just hear them coming by. Not all of them hit me, but when they did, they hit so hard they set my hammock to swinging. I was afraid that my stakes were going to rip out, but no, everything held. So, after like the fourth or fifth one, I got a little less worried, but shit, you could hear those things coming. It's about 3:30 right now. I woke up at the usual time, but it's chilly. I keep hearing it sprinkle out there every once in a while. Not just tree pee, but, light sprinkling. I'm hoping it's pretty much done. It was supposed to be done hours ago, but, nature does what it wants. So I shall sit here, I shall drink my coffee, eat my oats, have a little safety meeting, and then slowly head my ass up the trail. Today's going to be a beautiful day, I swear. We deserve one of those. I've hid from most of the storms anyway, so, I did last night too. I could have made another 4 or 5 miles down the trail, and then, been 4 or 5 miles up from now, but everything be cold and wet, so I'm just cold right now. I'm not wet, so I'll take that as a win. All right, choke down my stuff and let's see if we can get out of here. See you on the trail. Well, a gust of wind just came along and yanked my whole tarp setup out from on top of me. And now I'm looking for mistakes. I can see there was one in this hole here. But where did it go? Yeah, I just yanked all 4 of them right out, man. Where are mistakes at? There would have been one over here somewhere because I cleared a spot, but nope, not seeing it either. Summon a beesh. Whatever, man. That was a good gust of wind, though. Well, I better find some of those stakes because, I kind of need them. Oh, there's one. One down, 3 to go. I'm still attached anywhere? Nope. Well, that was rude of you, Wind. Oh, there's 2. Okay. 50%. That's not bad. That's all I really need, but I want the other one, so we're going to stay and look. Well, I found 3 out of 4. I feel bad leaving one behind. He did such a good job. Kept me warm and dry all these nights. I don't want to abandon him out here, but I found the other one way up over here. So I was assuming since it was the other one, it'd land like here. But, I spent like 20 minutes searching while I was getting packed up, man. I just don't see it. Thought I had reflective string on all of them, but I'm guessing, well, one of them I know didn't, and I'm guessing that's the one that didn't. Guess it's time to replace my strings. Well, hell. Okay, buddy, this is where you live. Thanks for keeping me all warm and dry and stuff, but I gotta go. I feel bad. I do. I hate losing stuff. I give up on it, dude. I think I'm headed this way. There's a trail over here. So that looks traily. But I found those tent stakes anyway. Oh, piece of wrought iron sticking out of the ground. I did not see that. That kind of hurt my toe and my ankle. Yeah, I found those stakes on the PCT somewhere. So they have gotten around a bit. This is not the way I took in. I came up a hill over here, but I figured it'd probably be easier to get out. I just followed the trail. It might even lead to mine. Once I get to the parking lot, yes, but that's where I came down. Figured it wouldn't be a good idea to try to go back up that slop fest. Alright, let's find somewhere comfortable, wind-free, wind wind light. It's not going to be wind free. Have ourselves a safety meeting. Mourn the loss of Steaky. Oh, he was a great steak. Speaking of steak, I ran into that couple, Tobacco and his girlfriend. And they said they were going to cook me a steak. But, we got separated. And then when I saw them yesterday, they handed me a raw steak. And I was like, no. Like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm like, well, you can make a fire. Like, it's raining, man. I ain't making no fire. They said they're going to give it to their shuttle driver as a tip. But could you imagine if some dirty hikers handed you raw meat? Like, no, thanks. That's all you, boo. Ooh. I count myself lucky that that gust of wind waited. It didn't seem any more powerful than all the others. I don't know what the difference was. Ooh, we got stairs. Alright, we're going up a lot. I know we get up there a good 1,000 or more feet and bridge walk for a while. That's why, one of the reasons why I was like, no, I'm staying down here and setting up camp. Ooh. Let's do it. Oh, I can see you. I was like, I know there's water right over there. Waterfalls. It's even coming from over here, running down. A lot of rain fell yesterday and day before. But we still have water. Nice, clean water. It's been so steep. I had to make that call and take the puffy off. I didn't want to get it all sweaty. But it's warm enough to where I need to take it off. But it's chilly enough to where I really want to put it back on. I ain't gonna do it. I'd say hike faster, but I'm going uphill. This is my top speed, man. Semi-sheltered right here from the wind. I came around the corner of the mountain. Hooked a nice sharp right. So I'm thinking there's another hill between me and exposure. It definitely got lighter over here. I have no idea because I can't see more than 30 yards. I have my good flashlight packed away. I'm doing that now when it rains. After losing the last one, even though it says it's waterproof or water resistant. I don't believe it. Even my phone. It can go underwater. But good luck charging the damn thing afterwards. It's just going to keep saying moisture in port. And you can't charge your damn phone. Ooh. City lights to the right of me, or lights. I wouldn't quite call it a city. That means I'm ridge walking. Kind of hard to tell. I wouldn't have known without the lights. Keep passing all these campsites. It would be really nice on other days, but there's nobody at them. I bet you if I made my way to the first shelter, we'd be crammed butt to nut with people. We can't quite blame them. That's a lot of rain. the wind wasn't blowing, it would be quite a nice morning. But wind sucks. Or it blows. Go away, wind. You weren't invited to this party. Ooh. Wait, never mind. There's lights everywhere out there. Excuse me. Maybe it is a city. It sprawls on for miles as far as I can see. Bet they have Wi-Fi down there somewhere. No, places I go to are going to. Next stop is Franklin. They're not going to have Wi-Fi. I'm going to go around and check, though. I'll need to go in for resupply. I'm not going to be in time for the free breakfast. That sucks. One day too late. Oh, well. We just go buy our own breakfast. But it's not the same, you know? Somebody makes it with love. A cook doesn't make it with love. I mean, some of them do. Some of them love to cook. But not the places I go. I'm going like IHOP and whatnot. Waffle House. But, you know, when a church group is making you some pancakes and stuff, you know they're making it with love. People volunteer to do that. And it's just a shame. I also wanted to see my little scribbly name from 2017. I'm still scared and new. Now I'm overconfident and old. I used to be all scared just walking in the dark. Everything frightened me. Now it's just mostly my imagination. I mean, it was before then, but it ran away with me. Still freak myself out here and there. But rarely. Most of the time I walk around pretty confident and comfortable. I don't find myself like scanning for eyes. I'm just scanning. I don't even feel like I'm going to find eyes, man. Nothing lives in these woods anymore. They all got hunted or moved. Like, screw this, man. The south is cold and wet. Let's go to the west. There they have these new housing developments in the desert. Well, hell, one of my trekking poles just broke. There's a little metal button on it that makes it collapse. And it just disappeared on me. One click it was there, you know, I'm driving in the ground. And the next time I go driving in the ground, it just sinks. And I thought I must have hit a mud puddle or something because it just sank into the ground. No, it didn't sink into the ground. It just collapsed on me. And I was like, oh, let me check that button. And yeah, the button is gone. I can find a good machine screw or something and jam it in there, which is mostly the intent, or a wood screw if needs be, but machine screw would fit better being all flat tipped and whatnot. Don't need it to be pointy, but I am not picky, and we're going to see how that works. I want to do just one pole. This trail needs trekking poles, man. Well, it doesn't need, but it is the the hilliest, rockiest, rootiest trail I know. If I was going to want poles on any trail, this would be it. Always something, ain't it? Lost the stake. And I broke a trekking pole. Didn't go my way. You know, there's people are totally out there. Like, those two things combined with being a little cold, a little dark, a little wet. I just can't take it anymore. And I had a fake cry. I think that was pretty convincing. While I am soft and weak, I hide it well most of the time. Ooh, a good time to be using sticks, huh? Too bad I can't do that, at least the plural form. I shall stick. You can barely read the signs at night. The light always messes up. But we are at an Indian Grave Gap. That means I've only gone 2.7 since Unicoi. Slacker. Looky, looky, looky. Yeah, we're gonna get some sunshine soon. The day's gonna change. It's gonna start getting warm. Sure, there's possibility of showers in the near future, but only for like a while, just hours in that day, not the entire day and the one before and after. It's rough when they're a few days in a row. Fortunately, I was able to avoid most of it, but I know not everybody is as savvy and lucky as I am. Some of these poor saps spent all 3 days in the rain. Good for them, man. You can't test yourself out here. Prove your mettle against this trail. Me, I've already been there, man. I'm gonna go duck and hide when I get a chance. Thought we were done with you for a minute there, Wind. No? Okay. I kind of expected people to be camped here. And just keeps coming in mean-ass cold gusts. Nice stairs. I'm about a mile out from the first shelter. Oh, but it's like 600 feet uphill. Brr! Hopefully we hug the side of this hill for a while, and maybe I'll be out of the wind just a bit. I definitely don't want to go to the top of this thing, but more than likely that's where it's going to lead. Looks like some ridge walking ahead of me. Do 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 do. You shall warm my bones. Thanks for being on time today, Bob. Been slacking for the last few days. I'm expecting you to pull some double time, some overtime, man. You gotta make up for all this lost time. Burn brighter. Warm my flesh. Hey, you. Haven't seen you in a bit. How you been? Silent as usual. That's okay, I'll do all the talking for both of us. I should be within like a quarter mile of shelter. I might, if I feel inspired, do a second coffee there. Not like I'm in a hurry to get anywhere. A desperate camping spot. Oh, yeah. I would not want to. Oh, I can totally see my breath up here. Would not want to sleep up here. Too damn high. Not enough trees. I mean, you got bushes to block the wind. But since you're way up in the wind, you're just asking for it regardless. But I guess desperate times, you know, get up there and all of a sudden the storm hits in earnest. I would have camped on that mountain in Colorado, but snow made me do it. I can't say I'm glad I did it, but I'm still alive. That's a beautiful rock. The day's getting much nicer. The wind is still cold, but of course the sun's doing its job. There's water at the shelter, one of the draws of going there. Figure I can use a little refill. It has been 5 miles and I'm almost through the 1 liter I brought with me. And you know, I'm filtered, I might as well make coffee. I mean, I'm gonna be there for a while. And it's only like 7:30. It's still there. There'll probably be people still milling about that place. Slackers. They walked all the way here in the rain yesterday, that pouring ass rain, just to get to a shelter. I mean, if it was close by, I could see making a dash for it, which are like 5 miles, probably like 3,000 feet of elevation gain. A little bit of loss, of course, but it's the gain I'm worried about. I don't want to gain through the rain. It's colder up top, man. People want that Instagram view when they wake up, though, or go to sleep, whichever, you know. But I don't sleep before the sunset happens, and I'm out before the sunset starts, or sunrise starts. So those little glamour Instagram shots at the campsite, don't need them. I'll take shots of my camp down in the wallows. Okay, any minute there's gonna be a branch off to the left, and that's where my shelter is. At like 0.2 down a hill. Hopefully it's facing the right way to be a wind block. There's a good, I don't know, 8 or 10 hikers around. Some of them are still in their tents. Nobody I recognize. Don't really seem like my kind of peeps. Just rando hikers. They still have that glazed look in their eyes, like they've seen some shit. Come on, man, it's still your first week. I asked how far down is the water. The guy goes, oh, I mean, it's not super far. It's like, fuck, how far is it? And the guy goes, it's 0.2. I was like, oh, come on, man. He's like, but you gotta walk back uphill with your water. I'm like, 0.2. It's cool how that's a dramatic number too. It's like, ah, not super far. I was like, oh, fuck, we're talking like a half mile, maybe more. 0.2 is totally tolerable, man. I'm already there. Kick back. Hopefully everybody leaves real soon. They're all, you know, really close to being done packed up. So I hope most of them have filtered out, at least the ones in the shelter. The tent ones can stay where they want, but I want that shelter to myself. We got ourselves a little pipe spring. Oh, we sure do. Oh man, look how low it is. Fuck. I asked if I needed a scoop. They're like, no, pipe spring, but like, how do I get under that? I'll just grab it down here where it's flowing. I wonder what this is the base to. That's where a shelter should be, man. Right here on the agua. Okay, finally leaving the shelter. Tiny little one at that. The trail is just right down here, and there seemed to be a path leading down to it. But now it's getting all thick. I'm going to turn back because I'm a sissy. But it is just right now. I'm going back. But there was this little worn trail right here, so I was like, maybe it leads right down to the shelter because I got to go back 0.2 that way and then come back this way. I'm willing to shave off a half mile, but I don't feel like picking through those. My digits are all cold and such. I'm uncomfortable. Hey, doesn't trail. I don't believe so. It got a little thick, so I'm giving up on it. They made it all the way to the shelter last night. Good for them. They got on the 11 o'clock bus, got dropped off here, and just walked through all that rain that I sat there, filmed from the safety of that porch. Look good on them for making it this far. Through all that. Ooh. Okay. Stowed my other pole. Now I'm down to a single. Leaves my other hand free to safety meeting. Kidding, I need both hands for that. So I just tuck this up under my arms, hand free. But my digits aren't working. We'll wait for a minute on that safety meeting. I want my fingers to work. I don't want to spill anything. It'll make me cry. I can feel the sunshine through my clothes, even through my gloves. While I didn't get freezing, my fingers hurt. That was the most sensitive part of me when it comes to cold. I mean, my toes are uncomfortable right now, but my fingers hurt. It's nice, there's just water leaking everywhere, man. No water worries for days. Not that I had any on the East Coast. I'm really hoping to find something to fix my trekking pole. I looked around for maybe a tent stake that might work or something, and I really didn't find anything. It's not going to take much, it just needs to be about the size of the hole, just to prevent it from sliding past. I can't do my workout proper. This is great stuff for working out. There's not a bunch of rocks in, my poles would dig right in. How did you expect me to get in all uber badass shape without two trekking poles, man? Something to come along, it always does. And if not, Franklin should have some sort of little hardware store or something. I'll find a machine screw. Okay, now that it's, finally getting warmer out, my fingers are able to fing again. It is finally time for safety. Got a nice downhill going on. Seems like a perfect time. Look at them trees swaying, man. Is this really 15 miles an hour? That's what it's saying on my phone. Or, when I looked earlier. It's like, how fast are these winds gonna be? Because, they sounded like they were, coming through like fucking diesels. Big old Mack trucks. Just messing me up all night long. But I am so glad that it was the very last gust that ripped my tent completely, or my tarp completely out. Because imagine that had been like the 5th gust. Or you're right when you fall asleep, it's raining real hard. Boom! All of a sudden you are soaked. Can't find your stakes to batten down the hatches again. Everything gets it's just uncomfortable. I'm so lucky. I just don't understand why I did it when it did it. It scared the shit out of me. And it popped and it was off me. That gust didn't seem any stronger than any of the other ones, man. Must have just been at the right angle or something. That ground was pretty soft, but still, I had those things all the way in. Well, at least they held all night, man. Sad, I lost one, but I lose stuff. I brought 2 extras with me just because I know I lose stuff. So I can still lose one more and be fine. But I'm going to keep my eye out. I like those stakes. Every once in a while I find a rando. I keep it. Most stakes I leave, but if they're those particular ones, they really work well for me. So I'll keep an eye on campsites. I will find another. Just an interesting shaped log. And by 10:30, this place is transformed. It was a nice spring day out. Little puffy clouds hanging out and shit. Nice stroll on some ridges. Little breeze going on. Such a better day. Oh, a whole group of hikers. Where'd these people come from? Are they the ones that left the shelter when I showed up? Holy shit. I'm all fast. Look at me. 2 miles an hour and I'm crushing it. There are 4 of them. I didn't even notice till I got close. I only saw 3 for the longest time. But they let me get up all good and close. They're walking around mostly silent. That dead-eyed stare. But they're super fresh. They just got on a little bit ago and they're just doing up to the next gap. You know, just a few day thing. And they got their asses handed to them by rain. So, yeah, they look like they did. So, of course, me being me, I got up all good and close. Yeah, made them jump and whatnot. We all got a good laugh out of it. And then zoom. Pass them by, never ever see them again. That happened just last night. Took out a couple of little branches with on the way down. You could have just been an unlucky hiker walking along, minding your own business, and boom, branched. Not to death, it's just, to club you real good. Maybe lose an eye if it aims itself really well. And you get a pirate patch. I mean, everything works out in the end. Pirate patches are cool. Now these remind you of like big manzanitas. Just manzanitas look cooler. I have no real agenda, but I did just notice, cruising ahead on the map, that in about 10 miles is Plum Orchard Shelter. I stayed there. That was where I left all early. Everybody's saying, oh, it's going to snow. You should zero in the shelter. And I was like, whatever. I've been on trail for like 2 weeks. I know what I'm doing. And I went out all in the early morning. And it started off warm. It did. And so it got colder and colder, and then, it was snowing all over the place, and I was uncomfortable. It's kind of exciting now. It's a big old double-decker shelter, too. I remember sleeping on the top story, trying to climb out and make no noise in the middle of the night. Definitely ain't looking to sleep in it. My hammock is way too comfortable like that. But it'd be cool to start off the day there. Nostalgia. I thought it was time for Deep Cap Shelter, and I was like, oh, let me see how far that is down there, because you can tell it goes downhill. No, it's like 0.3, maybe even 0.4 down there. Not worth it. After a half-mile uphill afterwards? I think not. There's water up here again on trail. I'll stick with that. Pick myself up a stick just so I can, use 2 hands. I don't like just using 1 hand, especially on uphills. Although it is a hell of a lot heavier than a trekking pole. You don't realize it until you hold the damn thing. I'm like, wow, trekking poles are really light. I've just never really had anything to hike with that to compare them to. I don't know what they do. They weigh nothing. This stick is kind of heavy, so, it's more of a workout. That's how I'm seeing it. I'll keep upgrading as I go. This is my second stick. It's better than the first. First had a severe bow in it. But it was at the base of a hill. I was like, I'll take it up the hill till I find something better. I'm getting pretty close to Dick's Gap. Or Dick Gap, I think. I don't think it's plural. Just one dick. Not a whole plethora of them. It's beautiful. But I'm hoping maybe there's some trail magic in it. That would be nice. These gaps are kind of the spot for it. Because I could definitely use a hamburger I did not carry. Or a beer or two. I would be cool with that. Okay, I'm not liking this stick. It's all unruly. It is not safety meeting compliant. I'm gonna keep a hold of it till I find something better, but I'm on the lookout. Maybe a nice saguaro rib bone would do. Something lightweight. What are the odds of coming across one of those here? Whose head would explode if I came across a saguaro rib bone after mentioning it? Mine would. Just pop. These guys are great. They're little wind blocks, man. It is very peaceful and calm in here. Just past a jogger with no water, so I know I'm close to the road. Come around a little hill and the sky's changed completely. What is this? Might have been all my sunshine. The breeze wasn't freezing. Breezing. Ooh, screw you. Wind, you are just a jerk. What did I say, man? Better not rain. Those are dark enough to rain, man. But it would just be a spritzing, I assume, even if I get hit. Just enough to make me whine a little bit, you know. It's fun to make me whine sometimes. I can only imagine. Let's make it a little cold. Listen to him whine for a while. Get him wet. See if we can make him cry. Lovely little water source. Another pipe spring. That makes it so much easier. Do I need to filter that? The filter's so slow. I don't want to do it, but yeah, I need to filter that because it's touched ground. You know the rules, man. Figured I'd grab 1.5 liters while I'm here. Just in case I decide to throw down early. I already went from Unicoi to Dick Gap. That's a pretty good day. As far as I know, I'm not in a hurry to be anywhere. Not getting that free breakfast, or I'd be in a hurry for that if it was just another day out. I'm pretty sure if I went, motivated, I could get there by the 14th. But I couldn't get there for breakfast on the 14th, so I'm not motivated. According to the comment that they left in Guthook, saying, come by the church, we serve breakfast from this day to this day. 14th was the last day. Today's the 12th. Yeah, it was like 60 miles from where I started this morning. So that's not going to happen. Oh, the lengths I will go to for breakfast. Well, there's still something I can buy in that town. I don't remember what was going on there. I think there was a Dollar General. That was about the height of it, and a bar. That was 10 years ago. Lots could have happened. I got some high-speed internet going on through there now. I'm going to go to push the button to upload, and it's going to say 8 minutes remaining instead of 7 hours. Oh, how cute. They have a little single bench over here for a really lonely person to just come over here and stare at the wall right there. Yeah. And it's pretty nice. But I don't know if it's stool worthy. I find it weird how small it is. Forecast did not mention this, or maybe it did. I wasn't here when I pushed the button, so everything changes. Oh, peoples. Well, that probably looked kind of bad. I just ran into one of them ridge runners, and this is exactly how my hand looked through the whole conversation. I was like, well, I already had him in my hand. Like, I'm not scared of them as Johnny Law or anything. Sure, they could create complications for me, but that's about as far as it'd go. And I was like, oh, bad timing for you to come around the corner. Now, like I can subtly even put it in my pocket. I got a handful of stuff going on. I blame the unruly stick. It has really come in handy, but it's just not as good as a trekking pole, man. You will suffice, though. And she didn't mention anything about trail magic, so I'm having to assume there is none up here. We talked about the possibilities of rain. I was like, my phone said it wasn't going to, but, my phone is not the higher power on deciding when it's going to rain and not, so, there's obviously a chance. Oh, let's get safe and not worry about shit, man. Maybe, just maybe, there'll be a burger still waiting for me in the parking lot. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not there yet. These things could happen. While there is no trail magic, there is an informational kiosk up there, a rather large one, and it's raining a little bit. Well, it's sprinkling. Gotta play Frogger to get across. I had to run. That guy stopped for me. That was rather nice. Oh, yeah, it's coming down now. Oh no! But look at the little dots begin. But look at the size of the informational kiosk right there. We are saved. I'm gonna hang out here for a bit. We got picnic tables too. I might live here tonight. I don't know. I don't think it'll rain for long. But I'm going to take a little break here regardless. Fair weather hiking. Oh yeah. Glad this is here. Stuff is happening out there. The wind is blowing the opposite way. That's never a good sign. I don't have service, so I can't check the weather, so we're just going to have to go with it. These ladies just found a tiny little puppy. Its eyes aren't even open. And they're like, did you see a dog around? I was like, no, somebody came up here and dumped that thing. That's a tiny little baby. Humans are horrible. So I'm glad they found it opposed to me, because I would not know what to do. I'm scanning right now for other ones. It was off in the brush where they found it. While they're here, if I can get them to take all of them, But I'm not seeing anything. Oh, glad they found it. Poor thing. Yeah, there's another one's body right there. People suck. I went over to look at what they had in hopes that it was a baby squirrel. So I was going to be like, oh, I'll take care of it. I'll be its mama. But no, it's a puppy. He's not expecting that. Everything's coming from the other side of that hill, and I don't know what's on the other side, so I'm just going to give it a few minutes. I don't believe this is going to last long, but I'd rather be, dry and warm. Well, less wet and less cold. Well, I'm not wet now, but it'll pass. Oh man, it's cold rain. Woo! Wait to see if some of it turns into hail. I'm pretty sure I'm seeing some bouncing. Yeah, these are little ice balls. Yeah, it got freaking cold out of nowhere, man. I mean, it was already pretty chilly, but the temperature just dropped. Woo! Won't last long, man. I see blue skies already. That's where it's coming from. I might hide. When you're given an informational kiosk, you take advantage. Oh, that was kind of bigger one. Oh, right there. That's nice. Not very big chunks. Yet. Oh, it's coming down pretty good. I'm glad I'm not out in this. Uh-oh, they got bigger. It's grapple now. We're going through the metamorphosis of snow or ice falling from the sky. Just enough to like make you really cold if you're out there. You know, you're not gonna get soaked, but you're gonna get wet and all this wind. Woo, man, I feel bad for everybody who's just trudging through and doesn't have an informational kiosk to hide behind. These things block wind really well. Well, as long as it's coming from one direction or the other. If it's coming sideways, you're screwed. They don't work all that well. But this one happens to be positioned just right to where it's a nice wind block. And if the wind just does change direction, hopefully it does a 90 degree or 180. Yeah, 180 so I can go to the other side. Crazy. I wasn't expecting any ice to fall from the sky today. I decided to take off while the getting's good. I figure I can't just linger there and hide from clouds, but if the trail provides me a place to hide, you know I'm gonna take it. But you gotta know when to move on. Plum Orchard Gap, that's where I'm at. 4.5, no problem. I did that with my mind. There have been a lot of stairs today. So much effort. But it's kind of always easy to get volunteers to come out and do the first part of the gap, isn't it? It's when you see stairs way out in the middle of nowhere, that really impresses me. It seems like it'd be more fun though. You go out for a couple days, you gotta, because they're not in hiker shape generally. So it's a 2 or 3 day hike out to go do some cool maintenance. I really should be doing that stuff. I could be such a better person. But I'm not. Oh well. You're stuck with me. Okay, let me introduce Sticky 3. Okay, lighter, sleeker. It even has a little nubbin right there that I can rest my thumb on. This one works much better. All right, third time's the charm. This thing weighs maybe a quarter of what Sticky 2 did. I think it was a dense piece of wood. And this will tide me over till I find something to fix my trekking pole with. Which I will. I always do. Everything comes together out here. It'll be in a hiker box somewhere. Probably won't even have to go to a hardware store. But I would go to a hardware store. Just get exactly what I need. I think today's been my biggest day so far. Have I broken 20 yet on any of these walks so far this season? I don't feel like I have. But I'm pretty sure when I make it to the shelter, I'll be over 20. I didn't do the math or anything. It just, it feels right. I'll click back. At least when you know where you start, it makes it easier because I can click back and the app does the math for me. Because, yeah, I suck at math. Never been my strong suit. Thinking maybe tomorrow if we wake up early. I do remember there was a huge climb out where I think we crossed the state line as far as I remember. And if I get to the top of that huge mountain, well, huge by AT standards, it was like, I remember it being like a hard climb, but there was sideways snow falling. And I don't hike in snow, and that was my first time. I had no idea how far up it went because I just had a paper map with a little book. It just went on forever as far as I could tell. But I just kept walking like a dummy. I'll have to see how far all that is away, see if I can recognize it on the map. Oh yeah, they'll have the state line marked. Totally will. So if I can do 6 miles before the sun comes up, I'll find myself on top of what's called Courthouse Bald. And it does have a southerly facing view, if it is indeed bald. But the trail wraps around the southern edge of the bald. With all this cloud activity and stuff going on, maybe we'll get quite the righteous sunrise, man. Get there early, brew some coffee. What? We haven't done that forever. It's hard, man. Now you wake up super early, go climb a mountain and make some coffee in the cold as the sun rises. It's a beautiful thing. I totally recommend it to everybody. Sounds really rough. And sometimes it is. And most of the time you fail. There is no sunrise. Or even if there is, it's blocked by something. But sometimes the universe aligns and you get something beautiful, magical. And if not, it sets your day off pretty well anyway. It's getting a little crazy up in there, man. Trees are swaying. Sounds windy, doesn't it? But if you look at this leaf, it's not moving at all. And just a little berm of dirt is all it takes to protect you. I'm about to lose that though. Smoke him if you got him. I was just standing right there minding my own, enjoying the breeze after a long uphill. Oh. Yeah, but these trees are throwing sticks at me, man. And one started cracking and one fell out. And I was like, okay, I'm out. Because, it's at a hardcore angle. I don't want to get hit by a stick, much less the tree. But it was all like snap, crackle, pop. Some twigs fell, and I was oot. Vines are crazy because they're not connected until the top. How do they do that? They're not like wrapped around or anything. They just grow on while it's young, and it just like pulls them up slowly as it grows. Or vine slow growers. I thought they were quick. Maybe those ones aren't. They're real woody, you know, like branches. But they don't spiral around like a lot of the other vines. They just grow straight up the trees. So it's either grab water here, nice and convenient. It's got a little drop off right there. Or when I hit the shelter's to the right and water is to the left. I'm assuming downhill and then back up. So I'm just going to carry this and I'll filter it when I get there. I have enough water, but I just want to make sure. I like having cocoa and stuff, you know. A little coffee in the morning, maybe another one. Oh, yeah, I don't have enough for all that anyway, so yeah, stock up. Uh-oh, I can hear the little sprinkles happening in the leaves. I haven't felt any yet, but I don't have much exposed skin. It's been a pretty cold day. But I am really close to the shelter, so even if it starts raining, I shouldn't get soaked unless it just dumped, but I don't expect that. I passed a lady after the little hailstorm. She said, yeah, up on top of the mountain. She's like, oh no, it was hailing hard up there. I'm like, yeah, I can imagine. Several hundred more feet up. Just enough to be interesting, comic relief, because the ice always falls from the sky for me. Even on a day where my phone lied to me and said it'd be sunny. Oh, I just got hit in the ear with a raindrop. You know, but it's happening. Where are you, shelter? I need to hide. I don't want to melt. Sure, it's right around the corner or something. Oh, we have arrived at Plum Orchard Gap. Shelter is like 0.2-ish off this away. Doesn't seem to be uphill, so that's nice. Well, I could just camp down here. That might be low enough to where it's not really windy. Oh, I'll go scope out the shelter first. See what kind of amenities there are around there, but yeah, I can see a few options to swing from around here. Namely those two trees dead center. But you can probably hear the tinkle of the raindrops. We'll go hide in the shelter, make dinner and stuff. See if it's got a storm. Check out if there's cool hammocking options near there. I'm not married to it by any means. Closer to the shelter, more mice there are. Why would a mouse live out here when there's an infinite supply of food right over here? Well, I've been going downhill most of the way, and there's no wind down here. Look at these leaves just chilling. Oh, you can hear the wind back of that away. Okay. Well, that gives me more reason to want to stay down here. I hear voices. We are close. Well, I carried my water a half mile for nothing. No, it's only a couple pounds. Now I know. Okay, I am all super set up. I got a good overlap going on my doors. This one, since this is my entry and exit, I'm just going to use my Velcro. One side is tied down, but not the other side. It's just too hard to get in and out. Little light sprinkles have been happening. You can see there's a light sprinkler. That's how my doors are now. Like the decent overlap. I'm getting the hang of this a little bit better all the time. I got a little lower to the ground tonight. Trying to figure out that happy medium. I want it almost touching the ground, almost. I'd like another inch lower if I could get it. I hang low. Alright, so I had dinner with everybody, hung out. There were actually a lot of people in that shelter, mostly older women, but they're not a group. They just happen to run into each other, and they've just been hiking around each other, but they're not a tramily or any of that stuff. That was kind of, I figured they were, just, there's a lot of them. I don't know, there must be, I'd say there's a good 9 people in that shelter. All of them women? Yeah, least all of them that were speaking. I mean, it's kind of dark in there, and I could see headlamps on and stuff. And I could see most of their faces. And then there's 3 or 4 of us hammocking and camping around the way. I'm the furthest dude out. No, I wouldn't go this far, but since it has a privy, I'm assured there's no poo ring out here, so I'm safe coming this far out. But if there wasn't a privy, it'd be dangerous to do what I'm doing. So I ended up doing 21.5 miles today. That's not half bad. You know, up and down, up and down, up and down. Franklin is still like 40 something away, so I need to do a couple more of those. I'm not carrying a whole lot of food. My hair is way soft, but it's not less frizzy. That stuff said it was supposed to make my hair less frizzy. That's not really frizz, is it? It's just humidity and dead hair. Oh my god. Yeah, I need a haircut. But yeah, Franklin's still good 40 miles away. I don't have a whole lot of food, but I'm pretty sure I got enough. I didn't really plan it out real well. I didn't. I've just been getting in and out of towns just hastily, it feels like. So I'm not doing a whole lot of prepping and planning. But yeah, I'm still alive. We're good. I want to make cocoa right now, but I only got a couple of those left, man. I don't feel like wasting one right now. But I'm tempted. Fuck it, I'll just go to sleep early. We got stuff to do tomorrow. You go to bed and wake up early. I'll see you all in the AM. Good night.